Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So today's going to be a video that was requested a couple of months ago. This is TN 101, so let's go ahead and get learning. Alright, so TNs are one of those things that kind of everybody knows a little bit about, but no one seems to know everything. I'm not professing for 1 second to know everything, but I do know a fair bit, so I thought I'd pass on my knowledge to you guys so that you can kind of get to know some of the terms and understand sort of what these things that people talk about actually are. So we'll start off with the really basic question, and then I'm going to go into some different categories. But the really basic thing is, what is a traveler's notebook? A traveler's notebook is anything, this is my definition. This could be not the standard definition, but this is my definition. My idea of a TN is anything that involves strings. So it's a TN that has a traveler's notebook has these strings in them. That's where you put your notebooks, and that's how it's kept together. As opposed to obviously rings, which is how I normally have my normal planner. And you've also got discs. There is another kind of planner, and it's just escaping me right now. But rings, strings, and discs are the big ones. I really fell in love with TNs because of Planners Anonymous and Mumsy Bub. They make two of the best ones, which are the ones I'm going to show off a little bit today. I have a lot of different sizes in all of them. So I thought I'd show you all of those when we go through sizes. But it's basically you use the notebooks as opposed to using things that you'd put in a ring with ring bound in the holes. I find the notebooks a really good way to do it, and I'll go into inserts again in a little bit. But I find this system works really well for keeping things on a month-to-month basis. So as opposed to my regular planner, which kind of runs the whole year long and keeps me going week to week, this is a really good way to break things down into like a month or into a category. So if I was going to do my wedding planner again, I might do that in a TN instead of a ring planner. Not that my ring planner didn't work, but it's an easier way to keep things categorized into one little notebook. And obviously you can add more notebooks if you need to. So we'll jump into the first category, what we're going to talk about, which is sizes. Alright, so there are a myriad of different sizes available. And I'll put actual sort of millimeter sizes up on the screen for you as we go along. But I'm going to go through the ones that I have. There's also on top of, hold on, I'll do that first. So this one is a B6. B6s, even in between the two that I have, are slightly different. The Planners Anonymous B6 is just a teeny bit taller than the Mumsy Bub B6, but when it comes to width and what inserts are going to fit in them, they're exactly the same. So you've got a B6 size, which is what I think is the kind of standard size. I think this is the one that most people kind of have. It's certainly the one that all the ones that Planners Anonymous have. But there is also a B6 wide, and it's also known as a B6 perfect fit. Also have an A5. So this one, if you like a little bit of a bigger one, that's what this one can be used for. You've then got a personal size, which I actually really like the personal size. It's just a little bit, I'm going to try and keep these in some kind of line so you can see roughly where they sit. So this is the personal size. I find it's a really good size. It's great to chuck in your handbag if you just have like a bunch of stuff going on. And again, you can see that in comparison with the others. And then we've got a pocket, and this is the one that I keep all my washi samples in. I find it's a little too small for anything I want to do, as in if I was writing in it. But overall, it's a really cute size. So there you go. You sort of see all of them lined up. I also know that there are nano ones, micro ones, passport, B6 slim, and one called, I think it's Kahia, I think that's how you say it. All of this I will link to the website that I found that sort of gave me all the information on all of this. But they're the sort of, I haven't seen those ones as much as I've sort of seen these four main sizes. This is sort of the ones I think are the more common. And these are certainly the ones that are easiest to get inserts for. So while we're talking about inserts, let's jump to that. So I've done a bit of a ring around and got a bunch of different kinds of inserts here. So as you can see, most of them here are B6, because like I said, that is what I'm going to call standard size from now on. That's the one that I certainly see the most often, but there are other sizes available. So this one is an A6. So this one would fit in this one. Perfect as. And then I'm just going to sort of walk you through each of the inserts so we can kind of get an idea of what's going on together. I think this one is a passport. I think that's what this size is called. This one is from Chasing Planner Piece, and it's a budget tracker. So you can see it's sort of got all of the, like the date range, the income expected, actual difference, and just a really good way if you just wanted just an insert to be just your budget. This is where this is a really good thing, because you can just have all in one page, which is so useful. They come in a different, like all the different sizes. Any one of these kinds of inserts will come, especially if you get them from Chasing Planner Piece or Aussie Planner Chick, will come in all of the different sizes. So if you like the look of the budget tracker, but you have a B6 TN or you're leaning towards B6 TN, you can get this insert in that size. That's really easy for the girls to sort out. So there you go, got a budget tracker. The A5 one here is like a month or week on 2 pages EC style. So if you're an EC person but you want to try out a TN, you can still use the same style. It's just a little bit obviously in a notebook instead of bound or with some discs. And they've just got different colours all through here. So you've got your weeks all on 2 pages. Really easy to sort of flick through. Easy squeezy. And then we move into the B6s, and like I said, these are the ones that I'm most comfortable with. The dot grids are what I tend to use most if I'm just like doing little bits and pieces or wanting a notebook as opposed to a calendar book, and I'll show you which calendar one I use as well. So this one is this is a dot grid from Chasing Planner Piece. This one you can have the choice to have some blank pages in there as well if you want to. It's really these are very customizable. You ask the girls what you want and they can do it, basically speaking. This one you've got from Aussie Planner Chick, just a slightly less bold dot and slightly smaller. Again, personal preference. And then you've got the Natty Planning one as well, so a slightly lighter, sort of somewhere in between the two. But they are all just a little bit different. They're dot grids at the end of the day. They all kind of do the same thing. It's like lined pages. There are different reasons to love all of them, and I don't like any one more than the other. I have about 3 or 4 of these sitting in my drawer at any one time, and I just grab one. It doesn't really bother me which one's which. While we're talking about B6s, this one's also from Aussie Planner Chick. This one's a online shopping tracker, so you can have what item you bought, the shop you bought it from, the date, the tracking date, sent, date received, so you can keep track of all of your online shopping. And then this one from Chasing Planner Piece has sort of like the full columns, so you can still use the Happy Planner or EC stickers in here if you wanted to decorate it, but it's sort of like your week on 2 pages as opposed to week on 4 pages, sorry, instead of week on 2. So you just continue through in that 4-page kind of way of doing it. And I really like that one because it's got Saturday and Sunday, has the same amount of time as everything else. So they're all your sized inserts. Oh, sorry, I forgot. The one that I tend to lean towards when I'm doing all my YouTube planning is the Planners Anonymous one. This is the luxe insert that comes as a paid extra every single month, and that sort of goes in the theme of the kit. I never stick to the theme, as in if this one was November's kit, maybe it might have been October's kit. I haven't used this insert yet, and I probably won't until May. I just use them when I want to use them. I just pick one. I get the undated one so that I can do that. I really like the luxe ones because they give you a little bit more options, and you guys have seen my videos on Planners Anonymous inserts before, so I won't go through it again, but I just like the way this is set up. It's absolutely perfect for tracking my social media and stuff like that. It just has the right pages. It's got notes pages at the back where I can put video notes or ideas or things that happen. If I have like a particular weekend where I'm having a filming weekend, I can have a things to do brain dump kind of there. I will admit I tend to sticky tape those two together because I don't really need a finances section. But I really like the way that the Planners Anonymous ones are set up, and it also gives me another reason to use my kits, which I always need a little bit more help there. So they are just a couple of the different kinds of inserts you can get. So you can get a monthly one, you can get weekly ones, you can get daily ones if you want like you can get a month in days all set up for you. You can get plain dot grids. You can get themes, so if you want to get like the budget one or the online shopping tracker, you can get an exercise one or a food tracker. Check out Aussie Planner Chick, Chasing Planner Piece, and Natty Planning. They're ones from Australia. I do know that Lights Planner Action in the States has really good inserts as well, and I haven't tried hers yet, but I really need to. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different insert sellers around the world. They can be printable, so you can get them as a digital file and print them at home yourself. makes that really, really easy. And I've done a video on how to put inserts together before, so I'll link that one below for you as well. Or you can get them that they are posted to you in physical format, which all these ones were. It just depends on how comfortable you are making your own inserts. I will say something that drives me absolutely bonkers when I'm making the inserts is when I can't make them be straight. That's my personal little thing. If you don't mind, you'll be fine. You can just make them on your own. And I have made notebooks on my own before. I think this one with the address book, that's something that we've made on, or Ryan actually printed them out and I just put them together. Just slightly bigger obviously, but they were sort of all done in Photoshop or Word or whatever they were done in. So you can make your own if you really want to, but there are plenty of places that you can find absolutely awesome inserts. Any accessory you use in your regular planner, you can use in a TN. There is absolutely no limit on what you can use in a TN, but things I hear people talking about a lot with TNs that I thought I'd kind of explain what they are. So the first one is a jump band. So a jump band is a little bit of elastic that helps you put extra notebooks into your TN. So most TNs come with 4 strings, and again I'll grab this one here that has the 4 strings. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Most of them come with 4. Some come with more, but just because you've got 4 doesn't mean you're limited to only putting 4 books in. So this one here at the moment has 6, but I'm going to show you using, where did it go? There it is. Using my January one, because this is going to be February, how to do it. So you grab your jump band, so you put it over to open the inserts up, open them up to the middle of both, and then you just put the elastic around the 2 middle bits. You can put the knot wherever you like, if you want it hidden, if you want it out, whichever you feel like. So it looks like this. So you've got your 2 spines stuck together. What you then do is you grab your string, run that through, and now you've got 2 extra books in there as opposed to the single ones like this one is. It helps so much. If you're a bulky person, if you like to have more than just sort of 4 notebooks in here, I tend to use these about every quarter. Like I'll go through a new TN and I'll fill up the next quarter. So at the moment this one's got November, December, January. It probably will have February, so it'll be 4 months this one. But then at the back I've got 2 extra notebooks. So this one I've got just a plain dot grid one. This one's another one of the Forest Falls one that I'll play with or use for something else or wait till later. But that way you can have 6, or you can actually have up to 8. I haven't tried duplicate strings. I don't know if you can do like jump bands on jump bands, but I think 6 is sort of where, 6 or 8 is where you need to sit anyway, otherwise it starts getting really bulky. But it depends on how many you like. But that's what a jump band is. That's what people say when you're talking about jump bands. You don't have to use elastic. You can use a rubber band. A rubber band works just as well, just a little bit less sort of, I guess, protective of your pages. And you've obviously got to get a really big one and then you can tie it up in a knot. Actually, you don't need to tie it up in a knot. Rubber bands come the normal way. But rubber bands work really, really well if you can get one of those really big ones. Or, of course, you can use these elastic kits, which are called string kits. So I have done 2 different kind of dabblings into this. The first one, I tried to get them on AliExpress, and I bought, I think, 4 or 5 different colors and ended up with this really thick elastic. It's not bad. It's still going to do the job, but it does feel really thick as opposed to this one here. So I'm just going to show you guys so you can see sort of the size difference between the 2 of the like width wise. So you just see the difference there. The white one is so much wider than the black one. So I've sort of got all these elastics from AliExpress and I'm probably not going to use. I got to think of something to use with those. But I've started getting my string kits from Mumsy Bub. They've got them in small, medium and large, I believe. And in lots and lots and lots of different colors. So I have a black one because I tend to use black. I have white somewhere, and then I also have a pink one because I use pink with my little creme brulee one. So I get them in a bunch of different colors, have a bunch on hand so that I can make myself a jump band whenever I like. I've also got a couple of, anytime I get like something that's got an elastic kind of thing like this on it, I keep it and see if it works. Doesn't always, sometimes it's a bit small, but generally speaking, you can reuse any kind of elastic you get as a jump band. So the next one is definitely one that we've used in our planners before, and it is a charm. I love TNs that they have these little hooks on the side, and obviously they're not there to be planner charm holders, but they do such a good job. You can also obviously put your planner charms on the string at the front. And not all TNs have string on the front. They also obviously always have string in the middle, but the ones, some of them, like the Planners Anonymous ones, like the Barista Brunch one, that one's got a clip on the front. It's still a TN because it's got the strings, but it has the clip instead of the elastic. The only difference is you obviously can't put quite as much in here and be able to close it, whereas the elastic will stretch to however big or how many notepads you have in there. But back to the little planner charms. You can put any kind of charm you like as long as it's got a little clip on it. I love having little charms on here. I think it's probably my favorite thing about TNs, and why when we made the Kiki K Planner Insider Planner, I was so hell-bent on making sure that there was a little planner charm clip in there. It all was inspired by TN, and I absolutely adore them. The last one I'm going to tell you a little bit about is something that I hear people asking about all the time, but no one can ever find them, and it's because they are kind of obscure. This is actually a music book page opener, and what it does is it holds your page open. It's as simple as that. It just holds your page so that it can't sort of close up on you. Not such a big deal in a smaller planner like this one, but if you have a bunch of bulk back here and you want to have a way to be able to hold your pages open, you just stick it in like that. It holds the page, make sure everything's sort of in the right place. I think it's actually supposed to sit this way. I'm still kind of learning this bit. I just like it because it's pretty. But I do have people asking all the time, what are those sort of things that hold open pages? They're actually called music book page openers or book holders. And I found this one on AliExpress. I got one, I think I got two for like $3 or something like that. And I've just accessorized mine with some Simply Downy bits. Really easy to use. Obviously it's just a slide-in thing, but it does help keep that page spread open while you're using your TN. And I just keep mine in the front here so that I can use it whenever I like. Do come in a bunch of different colors too. You don't have to have rose gold. So there we go. That is everything I could think of when it came to what do you need to know about TNs. They're not really all that different. They're just generally a little bit softer, the covers. They're not quite as solid, I guess, as a normal planner. But I like that ruggedness, I guess is the right word for it. I like that I can chuck this in my bag and I don't sort of feel like I'm going to break it. Most of them aren't made from leather, but I know you can get them made from leather. You can also get them from I think Moleskine makes some. There's lots and lots and lots of high-end ones as well. I really love my Planners Anonymous and Mumsy Bub ones. I use them all the time. Like I said, I flip between these ones all the time. But I've really enjoyed TNs, and I just use them in a different way, I guess, than what I usually normally use my planner for. But it is working really well, and it's certainly keeping my social media stuff all under control because I know everything is in these little books. So I hope that answered all of your questions. If you do have any more, please leave them down below. I'll happily do a TN 102. We can learn the second lessons together. And I can go through any terms or anything like that you might not have heard of before or you want a little bit of clarification on. If you have any questions about anything you've already seen, please leave it down below and I'll clarify it in the comments. You can also find me on any of my social medias and I'll be able to answer your questions there as well. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please give it that thumbs up if you have, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day and a great weekend, and I will see you again on Sunday. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!